Welcome, everybody, to the Dark Ages. This is our first V5 campaign for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, set in the year 1198. With me tonight is a wonderful cast of people who I will let them introduce themselves. Let's start this time around with Mitchell Wallace.
Greetings, I am Mitchell Wallace, Penny for a Tale on all the social medias, and today I will be playing Gamaliel. Very excited.
Next up, I'd like to introduce Dana.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Dana, and tonight I am playing Asta Sorensen.
Following up, we have Elliot.
Hi, I'm Elliot, and tonight I am playing Violet de Claret. Her pronouns are she, her, but I go by they, he.
We also have our good friend Casey with us tonight.
Hello, I'm Calamity Casey on just about every social media outlet. I'm co-host of the Strange and Unusual podcast, and tonight I will be playing Sister Hildegard.
Last but not least, my Gehenna Gaming co-founder, brother-in-arms, Mark.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Mark Hugh Anderson. I will be playing Abbot Aldrich. Thank you for joining us.
And I am Rick Wheeler, storyteller for our Dark Ages campaign. You can find me just about anywhere at Oops All Setite, especially on our Gehenna Gaming Discord and Twitter. I'd like to give a brief introduction tonight into our setting. This is the period of Cainite history that the Cainites call the Long Night. Humans refer to it as the Dark Ages, now commonly referred to as the Middle Ages. The modern institutions of the Camarilla, the Anarchs, and the Sabbat do not exist. Domains across Europe are part of Cainite empires, often run by Cainites as old as the 4th generation, many whose borders align with those who rule the land by day. This is the War of Princes, where blood is often more precious than gold. Elders rule the ancilla and neonates under them with almost absolute power of judge, jury, and executioner. The Crusades, 1 through 3, have come and gone, but another looms on the horizon as plagues ebb and flow across the land. Literacy is just barely preserved in the monasteries, and the average life of a mortal is hard and oppressive. Superstition and faith are more prevalent, and every home has a hearth full of fire, one of the many banes to a Cainite's life. The first fires of the Inquisition are but mere embers awaiting a breeze or straw. Tonight, we're going to set the stage in the year 1198 in the southern region of France, in the city of Marseille, a port on the Mediterranean, the second largest city in France at this time. An absolutely stunning landscape where the mountains meet the ocean. Its overseer is a humble servant of his own lord, the pious prince called Saint Regis of Clan Toreador. Many in the city and its province get along with his rule well enough. However, many grow weary of his ordinance to only feed on the religious orders that he maintains. Regis hosts an annual Salon, a gathering of kindred in the area and beyond. The occasional prince or queen of the other domains in France, or even Italy and Iberia, attend, as he typically tends to remain neutral to the political tear cut down the middle of France between the Ventrue and the Toreador Grand Court and the strictly Toreador faction, the Courts of Love. These players have been invited to St. Regis' Salon over the last few years, a celebration of religious art and iconography, other relics brought from the Holy Land for preservation during these times as the Crusades wage. However, all kindred gatherings, no matter how benign, are dangerous. A stray word may lead to an assassination of one's beloved years down the road as elders play cruel and petty games against the young. Not so many years ago, a delegation of Lasombra, during one of these events, made a less than amicable remark towards the situation regarding the Salubri seeking sanctuary from their Tremere. Well, you know the story. Regis and a few others expressed their distaste. However, before anything else could be said, the neighboring Prince Enrico of Genoa, an Italian merchant republic to the east, was able to placate his Sea of Shadow clanmates. Tonight, these 5 kindred with some influence, wealth, connections to others, were seeking things in the young life. Some are longing for what they used to have and wondering if they'll ever find it again. Whatever their station or reason, over the last few salons they've come to, they become a thin veil of a coterie. As princes, queens, and foreigners descend upon your land and resources, usually while looking down at you. Something about this year feels a little different. We start with Abbot Aldrich, who, Albert, why don't you tell people where you normally stay? You have a particularly unusual means of travel.
Well, I would say it is the abbey, the Mare Nostrum Abbey. I have my monastic monks, the Order of the Austere Shadow, and I stay on this abbey, and we float across the Mare Nostrum, the Mediterranean. This is so that we can bring the shadow of the Almighty across vast various lands. I'm happy to be here in Marseille, and of course, staying on a boat on a port isn't the most appropriate for an abbey such as myself and, of course, my brothers.
So instead, you chose to stay at the Abbey of St. Victor, an abbey where Prince Regis himself hails from. And as you exit the abbey, with your monks in tow, I imagine,
Always.
you find yourself quickly sharing a path with a man, his early 30s, quite thin, with a dark, bearded goatee, much like your own, wearing not quite the robes of an abbot, friar, or priest like yourself, but simple robes, one that you would not typically see a prince in, though he walks the streets beside you, exiting the same building as he greets you this night.
Saint Regis, canonized with your faith and holding this holy city. I appreciate everything that you're bringing to me and allowing me to stay in your city.
Saint by nature, perhaps not by name, Abbot Aldrich. How was your stay at the Abbey?
I would say that it feels as if I'm living like a king. The decor here, I'm not quite used to. So I appreciate you allowing me to modify my quarters.
By all means. But if you're living like a king, perhaps we've been spoiling you.
Yes, well, I think the Almighty will probably say it himself. All of us live too well.
What sort of trouble have you been up to lately, for our Lord?
You're too kind. I'm just a beggar in the shadow of everything that is holy. I bring good tidings from a different place. Jerusalem. It's gorgeous. Have you
Any
been?
more? I have. Have you brought any more relics for my order of bitter ashes?
Yes, I actually have 3 crates in the abbey. My abbey, waiting for you. I'll make sure that my brothers bring them to you.
Your order of monks, quite unusual. We have a Carthusian monastery in northern France who take a vow of silence. Yours, I do believe I've heard they've cut their tongues out.
Yes, they have. It's a small sacrifice. You understand the power of sacrifice?
I do, though not often as literal.
Well, it's important that we serve the shadow of the Almighty with thanksgiving. In order to do that, we have to give something that's important to us.
Might I share something with you that few eyes have seen?
Please, I wouldn't want you to put on any airs, but if you would, that would be so kind. I do appreciate the audience.
He takes you back into the abbey, into a downward spiral staircase that leads to what you would think was a basement. However, there is a hidden door that leads down a hallway. We'll pause that for just a moment as we cut to your other associates, Asta, Sister Hildegard, Gamaliel, and Violet de Claret. As the grotto candles are just being lit for the Salon this evening. As a number of guests arrive, you find yourself walking in almost at the same time. And I'll let you have the scene.
Lamille will definitely approach the abbot.
Also, Violet has her tall lady.
Excellent. Abbot Aldrich.
Abbot Aldrich is actually in a different location at the moment.
No!
You are with the sister, Asta, and Violet de Claret, who has a very tall woman with her that you recognize right off the bat, as she's one of your works of art.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go towards that and just kind of pat it down. You look scrumptious, very well done, very well kept as well, Violet. Any
I
scars?
do my best. No, not that I know of where she's hiding.
Too
But
bad.
I have not seen any lately, though.
Have you used it in any other way than it's intended?
Protection is always good for me, so no, we use the designated purpose of a little extra muscle.
Fortunate. You should really explore things a little bit more. You are a researcher, yes? You dive into old catacombs,
Oh yes, there's a spelunking ahoy.
spreading your fingers through the old and dusty.
Getting the good dirt between your nails. Yep, we do that. And she's good for those patches of rock that I just can't lift through. She's very strong. Very, very strong.
Good. I'd like to invite you to my domicile sometime
Would
before
love to join
night
you.
ends. Excellent. I'm looking forward to this. And as to these other beauties, Their names escape me for the time being. Speak.
I will approach Violet specifically and take her hands in between mine. Hello, Violet. It is so good to see you.
Oh, sister, it is so good to see you too. How's your research coming along?
It's coming. Slow.
Let me know if you need any more information, and I can try to assist as best as I can.
Thank you. I will keep that in mind.
Have you met my good friend? I'm sorry, your name escapes me.
Ooh. So here's how you should do it. Place it upon thine lips. Really ingest it. And right before you lick your lips, moist and ready, you say, Gamaliel.
Calamity.
Yes.
Yes,
There you go.
my good friend from back in the day, and I believe we have met quite a few times in the past as well with you and our other friend here.
I do the same. I reach out and I take Gamaliel's hand in between mine, like a little sandwich, and I say, good evening, Gamaliel. It's good to see you again.
I'm not gonna lie, your touch inspires thoughts within me, sister.
These are the hands of the Lord.
Which Lord is it this time around? Is it the Holy Jesus?
Gamaliel, I'm a nun.
I've known some nuns in some very intimate ways. That doesn't
I'm
really
not
prevent you.
your dirty nuns. I am the good
Oh,
Benedictine nun. You silly man.
my nuns are pure, without the burden and rust of an archaic and foolish god.
Well, you'll have to speak to Cappadocius about that yourself.
Well, I'd rather not. I think I will just speak my mind here and let the matter rest. But I do want to show you to some of these nuns that I have acquired.
I have a feeling we would not get along.
I
And
think
then
you would.
I swish over with my habit swaying in breeze, and I look at Asta. And Asta, good to see you again.
Yes, it is good. How are you doing?
Oh, here and there.
Keeping busy?
Of course. And you?
Always. These nights are long.
Yes. Yes, they are. But here we are.
Here we are indeed.
The nights are only long because you have idle minds. You need to keep your hands and your thoughts busy.
I like to think that I keep very busy.
Do tell. What have you been up to?
Since the last time we saw each other, there has been more travel, more talks, more rousing. Though I have returned here for a while, it's good to station yourself every once in a while.
Are you staying in the area?
For now.
Do you find your domicile pleasant and satisfactory?
I do believe it is more than adequate.
Well, if you want something a little bit more, please come home.
I think maybe we could arrange that.
I'd like that a lot. And honestly, I'd like you to regale us with a specific tale. I know on my end, throughout the years, there's that phrase that God is found within man, and let me tell you, I've searched very thoroughly. I haven't found it yet, sister. Is God hidden away in a place that I can't find? Is God
I
that
would-
clever?
I would also like to know the answer to this.
Well, you see, that is sort of the journey. When we think of God, as you do, as my clan, the goal is to become him.
To
And-
become God?
Of course.
Is that
How,
not sacrilegious?
how else do you defy death?
We've already defied death.
But have we?
Yes,
If I were to cut your head off and throw you into the flame, would you not die again?
I don't think so.
Well, then I am very curious about what you are researching, sir.
The shifting of priorities.
Well, anyway, so the point is, become God, cannot die.
I think the journey is more important. Are you filling the journey and the time, the road, with very pleasant steps? Have you ever stepped upon a fair and well-carved man? It's quite enticing.
I do not need to step on men. They move out of the way for me.
I move them under my steps.
At that, Sister Hildegard hears a small voice whisper in her ear from Brujah, your sister.
Ah.
Shall we move him?
Oh, I think so. And so I will, with great etiquette and lovely gesturing, breeze past Gamaliel. Sorry, did I say that right? Gamaliel?
Gamaliel.
Gamaliel. I breeze past in a way that only a Toreador would normally be able to get away with. And like, oh, darling, going to the next person sort of deal. And I will turn at the last moment and I will say, God can move oceans and I move men.
Last time I checked, God was sucking my cock, and will be doing so till the end of time.
I say nothing and I
As-
go past to whoever is directly in front of me.
As the words leave your lips with that particular quote, an invisible hand grabs it, squeezes
Oh,
roughly, and releases a hand that came from seemingly nowhere. I got him, the voice whispers into Sister Hildegard's ear.
Always.
I do love me some God.
As you look around the salon, there are a number of guests, many whose faces you've seen before. You may have talked to them in the past. There is a man named Father Sebastian, as he meets. Seems quite thuggish, brutal, classless. There is a woman named Veronica in a beautiful royal purple dress with spider webs that are a golden pattern throughout it. They say she's a witch, but you've never quite proven it one way or the other. Maybe you've never had the courage to talk to her. The prince's enforcer, who you know as Min, the Brujah woman who wears an outfit much like those in the Ashira would wear. It's like a hijab covering most of her face, as well as a cloth covering the bottom part of her mouth. You understand that there are some caveats to her position, as you've heard. She was reprimanded and now serves Regis, as she would have likely been put to death, if not for his mercy. There's also a Setite from Iberia named Salah, who is actually very well respected. He is an Ashen priest adjacent to the prince in this domain, who has helped Marseille many times in the past against the incursions by the Ashira up until the Crusades drew most of their attention, as well as the Reconquista in Iberia. Last but not least, or actually, there's two more. There's a Nosferatu, who simply calls himself Samuel, but any research you've done on this man leads nowhere. No sire, no child, no past. It's likely a lie. But you don't quite know who he is. But he tends to know, like most Nosferatu, a little bit about everything and everybody. And then there is the Queen of Toulouse, a city to the west of Marseille. Here at Regis's calling, she's not come to one of these before. But she's standing, talking to the Setite Salah. As you head in, there is a woman outside who's got a broken man in a cart, his body mangled by some attack. As she calls for help, for anyone who might be able to fix him, ease his affliction. You can tell that the only reason he could survive those wounds is if he was a ghoul. Because any mortal would have passed from shock of the pain by now. And I'll let you think on those people, those scenes, as I cut back to Abbot Aldrich, who's being led down a chamber underneath the Abbey of St. Victor. This is a hidden chapel we don't typically tell people about. The Chapel of St. Andrew. There's a relic here I want you to see for yourself.
A relic, you say?
Indeed, one older than many that we have found before in the Holy Land.
Well, this is indeed a treat, just to even be in the presence of this chamber.
As he walks down a hallway where the candle is parked, there's a darkness between where the space is lit. Give me a wits and intelligence roll.
One success.
That is not enough. Would you like to spend willpower?
No.
You're not sure if it's candlelight or something else, but there's an unusual glow in this tunnel.
St. Regis,
Yes, Abbot.
I must admit something. I'm a pious man, such as yourself, and it is important to me that I don't sully the presence of the Lord. I am but a sinner, just like anyone else.
And the church is the hospital for the sick. Come. You've earned this. And he walks ahead.
And I follow, cautiously, with my eyes to the ground and using kind of my peripheral to find my way through.
Are your monks still with you?
Oh yes, at least one would have followed.
Okay.
And if I may, I'll kind of finger a finger towards that monk. Be ready with the cloth, brother.
They bow their head. The chamber opens. There is an old book on a pedestal. You feel it immediately in your bones as they almost get warmer in an unnatural way. It's very alarming. He just seems unaffected.
What is the color of the light?
The dark, well, it's like a bright orange with candles. The strange bluish tint from the tunnel is gone.
St. Regis, the deeper we go into this cavern, the closer you take me to what I'm about to witness. I feel a quickening.
Have you not fed, brother?
No, it's not that. I assure you I'm well fed. I'm just excited. And I feel ashamed at my excitement, St. Regis. Have you ever felt ashamed to be looking forward to such a treat, to be made to feel special? Unworthy I am for this.
Every day when I awake with the title of prince, when there's only one true prince.
Heavy weighs the crown.
This book, it is a personal journal in Psalms of the Saint Augustine of Hippo. The name causes you a cringe in your kindred body. And as he lifts the book and holds it towards you, you begin to have the reaction that sometimes happens to Abbot Aldrich in the presence of something truly blessed, truly holy.
St. Regis. It's beautiful. It is truly beautiful.
The monk pushes past you and covers it with a cloth. He cannot talk. His tongue's been cut out. But
My sinful eyes do not deserve to be blessed with the sight of the Lord. I only keep his image in my heart. I'm not worthy.
As we deal with that situation, we come back to the group. Asta, Hildegard, Violet, and Gamaliel. What is it you would each like to do?
I'll go over to this ghoul and the person standing by it.
She looks at you with some trepidation as you don't look like the healer type. But still, beggars can't be choosers.
What's the matter with your property?
I am but a ghoul like him. Our
Oh,
master, our regent was killed.
stop. Who do you belong to?
He is dead.
That is unfortunate. What are your... Who was it?
It was this thing. It came out of the woods, covered in flies.
Oh, I don't care about that. I was more so curious about the one who made you as you are now. Did he educate you on anything about us?
Many things, sir. Many things.
Excellent, excellent. You and your companion are now mine. Do you understand?
That's fine. Can you save him?
Shh. Your friend's dead. Ugly, grotesque. I don't think I will lift a finger to help that bulbous, pale, sickly-looking body. Unless, is there something you can offer me? Besides your eternal gratitude and service for the next decade.
Could you please give me a what's an awareness, sir?
Yeah.
Asta, you may do the same if you're overhearing this due to your background. Violet or Sister Hildegard may do the same as well if you wish.
2 successes.
You said wits and what else?
You can use wits and medicine.
I don't have
Asta.
medicine. Oh,
Well, you got 4. Mitch, you see that his wounds are not natural.
Mm.
They were not done by... I mean, a lupine would have broken this man in half. Kindred would have known better to keep him alive. Yeah, or his compatriot, they would have been dead. To preserve the secret of blood. Violet and Sister Hildegard, what did you roll?
I only had 1 die, and I did not give it.
Okay,
I got 4.
2 of you got 4. The 2 of you, which is very fascinating. One, a medical professional, the other, a caretaker of the dead. Where his wounds are on his exposed chest, it's not a typical claw mark or bruise. Where he was touched by whatever struck him left infernal markings. As
Can
if
I roll a call?
you may. As if his skin itself, where it was struck, as if a massive forearm hit it, left unholy scripture burned into his body.
1.
This sure is some kind of occult bullshit.
I also have quite a bit in occult.
I give it a second look.
What's an occult?
Certainly. Or intelligence. As
I'm
you're
Well,
gonna
think about it a little more.
roll 3 more for some intelligence.
Okay. As this is happening, Gamaliel, she is nodding along. There's nothing she could do. You're a kindred. She exists to serve. You got a 2, finally?
So 2 successes.
I had to get
Seems-
more dice. Hold on.
That's a good sign. Violet, this seems like some ancient language you may have seen in a book during your instruction before you were released from your sire to do whatever you wanted to do. You're on your own terms, your own responsibility. While you may not have studied this enough to understand it, you know that this is in fact a language that is a branch of the church many don't talk about, demonology. Sister, what do you got?
I got a crit, so it's 7 total.
You instantly feel repulsed. This is of the devil, the adversary, the accuser. This man was attacked by some sort of unholy hellspawn, a demon. And should he suffer to live, you don't know if there was anything you could truly do for him.
I will take a step backwards and do one of these.
So this is bad then. Okay. Because Violet's just looking at her doing that as she's looking deeper and just like, it looks very bad. And I may have seen something like this, but I do not know what it is completely.
It's of the devil. It's
He's
bad.
still around.
It's very bad.
Oh, is that all?
Scandalous.
Okay. Of course.
Well, this is now mine. That one in the box is now mine too. Excellent. And I'm going to reach out my hand and grasp his face and do a little flesh crafting just to get rid of some of the things that are not really needed for this particular thing. Take my time.
Talking about the infernal markings.
I'm going to remove the eyes, the tongue, the teeth, and then put the tattoo markings under the flesh so no one can see it.
Give me your rolls to fleshcraft. I can give them to you if you don't have them.
I have it. Resolve plus Protean. Hell to the yeah.
You got to be excited about new use. Your clan powers, everybody. Words.
Hell to the yeah. Excellent. 3 successes.
The eyes, the mouth, everything you shape on his face as your fingers merge and melt into his skull beyond the hair, wiping away traces of his identity. He's now yours. Putty in your hands like so many before him. And your hand goes further down towards the injury on his chest to put those scars underneath a layer of skin. And you succeed. And as your hand pulls away, they rise and burn through the skin you have put on the top layer and surface again with the smell of searing flesh in your nose. At this time, Abbot Aldrich feels a pull or a notification in his own brain that something is amiss. Regis himself, his stomach seems to have turned sour with the look on his face. I feel we should go. Something is not right above.
I need to ask you something, St. Regis.
We should be in haste. What is it?
It's important that we understand our own weaknesses. I have, unfortunately, I may have. Please make me feel comfortable. Pray tell, what is it? What is the sin, St. Regis, that you have held on to, that you know about yourself? Something to ease. I am embarrassed. And I just would like for you to share a bit of your sin with me.
Are you going to be using any supernatural means?
I would like to, yes.
Let's make the roll to determine what sins this very pious kindred, who others call saint, might be holding.
The abbot is wound up And the dice have reflected that. 3 successes. A messy critical.
Oh. With what you have open, is there an opposing roll that you can
There-
see?
Yes, there is. Composure and subterfuge.
He struggles to keep it in. And you see his beast rise to the surface as he's trying to hold it back, but instead the beast answers for him. Anger! And he looks completely shocked. And as he says that, the book on the pedestal lights a flame. 1,000-year-old text. Ashes in a moment as he falls to his knees. What have I done? What have I done?
I've told you, St. Regis, we are all sinners, all of us. Even you, not so much a saint, as you said. More in name. Anger.
He composes himself, grabs you by the throat, and with dizzying speed is out of the chamber, out of the abbey, through the streets, and at the source of the corruption in his town as he drops you like a toy in front of the cart. We'll deal with that later. What's happening here? Who is this man? As he stands before Asta, Gamaliel, Violet, and Sister Hildegard.
No one of consequence.
He is.
Everyone is of consequence.
That's not true, not in any way. It's
Uh,
merely just a ghoul.
The sister points accusingly at the markings that are now gone.
Oh, they're back.
Oh, they're back. Excellent.
They burned through the skin. They healed to the surface.
Perfect. He's been touched. The devil has had him.
He looks contemplative, sad, thoughtful as he looks down on this man. What have you found?
I will sort of explain the different markings that are on his body and where I know them from, what they mean.
Abbot, at this point, you would have risen to your feet.
And yes, I'm looking at the abbot for like help. Do you see this?
You almost feel humble, likely, because you were just dragged several hundred yards in a very quick amount of time. But you feel good, Abbot Aldrich.
Is the abbot here?
He is
Yeah,
here.
it is.
I am here, G.
Abbot Aldrich.
You're more beautiful than I remember.
I know. How are you? Do you like this toy I have? I just got it.
I see you're still working on your craft. The abbot will kind of stand and dust himself off.
Is there something the matter with you? And he'll approach the abbot, getting very close.
Always, G. Always.
Why is that? Is there anything that I can do? I can Fix something up.
No, it's something that I must fix. And he'll look at St. Regis.
Fine.
You
So-
were an expert in demonology in Canterbury. What is this?
I want to get a closer look.
Okay.
Maybe kind of use my understanding of the occult.
Sure.
Would that be like an intelligence and an occult roll to kind of key into what's going on in front of me and get a lay of the land and understand?
Yes,
Hey.
and you may use your specialty.
Thank you. I am. Yes, I am. In Canterbury, I unfortunately have had the displeasure of studying these infernal things, and whatever knowledge I have is at your disposal, my prince. Three successes.
How close a look do you get? Tell me what you do.
So he's going to get right in it. Very closely. He's going to smell. He's
You
going to
hear a buzzing of insects from his throat.
I'm going to grab his head
Mhm.
and open his, kind of put my fingers into his mouth
Mhm.
and slowly pull his mouth open and put my nose, rest it on his tongue and smell.
A torrent of flies, a stream of them, erupts like a geyser from his esophagus, from his stomach, which is now swollen.
Hmm.
As it flies into the night sky, and then proceeds to enter every other orifice on his body as he quickly writhes in agony. He can't see, he can't hear. But before you know it, within a matter of minutes, he appears dead, but then rises, and fangs descend from his mouth. He's a kindred, born anew, but not as you know, as he has black veins throughout his body. And he begins to make a run for it. With no face, no eyes, but guidance of something fouler and deeper.
I run after.
I was going to say, are any of you quick enough to even do anything about this?
How fast is he running?
As if he had the speed of the prince.
Oh, yeah. I run
That's-
fast, but not that fast.
It's out of my hands.
Asta, however, you might be able to catch up, see his movements, or even stop him in a way that others may or may not be able. Perhaps with your powers over the metabolism. Or not. It's up to you.
To out myself would be detrimental at the moment.
It also, how do you feel about this happening? You have a different path with the church. You have a sordid history.
I would very much like to investigate whatever this is, but it's very interesting as I have never seen anything like this before. But I do have the ability to make him cease. But I will refrain from that for now, as it is not worth it at the moment.
And your conscience doesn't suffer a damn thing.
Not at all.
These are the people who doomed you to death.
Let them hunt it down if they wish.
A loose demon. The flies from the deep of the great deceiver. We can't let it go too far, but I fear it's too late. Who was this person? Where was this person before all of this?
I believe the other ghoul would know. They spoke of a forest.
Is that ghoul here?
In the cage, I believe.
In a cage.
Yeah.
Did you put him there, G?
No, I just got here and found these very delectable stories.
I thought you brought your toys. Well,
My toys are more sensual in nature. Those things are gross.
Regis departs towards the inside of the salon, sickened by the events here, looking to take these dark things off his mind. You are alone outside of the entryway to the grotto.
Farewell, dear prince.
farewell,
C'est
dear
la
saint.
vie.
Sister,
Yeah,
God is with thee.
and ye.
Hmm.
It is good to see you again.
It's always a pleasure, sister. And we have new friends. I don't believe I've met either of you.
Well, let me make an introduction.
Please.
This is the quick-minded Violet. The one next to her, the especially tall, thick ghoul, is my special creation for her. And can you believe, Abbot Aldrich, that Violet did not abide nor divulge in any of her curiosities with this creature? Merely
Yeah.
used it as a hammer. Oh, yet. Violet.
I do not disclose my personal life, my dear, but I'm not saying there aren't plans.
I love this.
Violet is probably best to keep it close to your chest. My friend G has a way of being too familiar. It is a pleasure.
Pleasure is mine as well.
And this delectable creature right here, Sorensen. I don't have a story concerning her, but I think she's fascinating.
I'm the abbot, Sorensen.
You may call me Asta.
Asta. Oh, great name. All of us. We all have great names.
Abbot, you were brought here in quite an interesting fashion by the prince.
Yes, I do make a scene of myself, don't I? It keeps me humble.
I didn't know that was an option, to bring you around by the neck in such a manner.
Well, not by you anymore, G.
It's a shame, Abbott. I feel like you have still things to teach me.
We all make sacrifices for the almighty shadow.
What about my condemned soul? Surely it needs special attention.
Well, I gave you those 4 monks.
Mhm. Yes. They certainly turned to sin pretty quick.
Silently, I'm sure. Abbott is going to. I imagine that the cage is here somewhere that you spoke of.
It is. And a woman inside, strawberry blonde hair, shoulder length, looking terrified, practically in shock, at the mercy of several kindreds standing before her. Her compatriot, who she thought she could heal with a simple amount of vampiric vitae, a monster, as putrid as the one she encountered. Perhaps worse.
He puts a hand out to kind of grab hers through the bars, I imagine. It's okay, my child. I apologize for your treatment.
A priest, thank God.
Yes, you can trust me.
The things they did to him, I thought they were going to do to me.
Well, they could, still, my child. So
No.
it's important that perhaps maybe we have a confessional. Maybe you can confess, repent your sins. Tell me everything that happened.
We were outside of this cave on the border of Nice, almost outside of this domain. These things came out of the woods, coated in flies. One of
Coated?
them coated. There was a young boy among them. We ran to try and save him. He wasn't running. We realized too late. They were not attacking him, they were with him. I think he may have been like you. All of you. Not like us.
Yeah, of course, yes. Not like all of us. Yes. Not me. What a fright. You still have more to confess.
Jacob tried to grab the child. The child bit him. The flies coated him. They flew into his stomach.
Yes.
Nature's creatures, the ones you call your enemy. The shape changers. They could smell the taint of this evil. They were cut down. In the chaos, we fled. I grabbed Jacob, ran here. We've heard of the piety of Regis and the relics he holds. We had hoped to cure his affliction.
But what about yours, child? What about your affliction? What about the bugs? Were you bitten? Did any bugs?
I swear I wasn't bitten.
Now, my child, we are all sinners. What have you done wrong to allow this to happen? What do you regret?
Making a roll?
Yes.
A natural persuasion roll or a supernatural roll?
Natural persuasion.
Okay.
A manipulation of sorts?
Okay. Manipulation, persuasion.
4 successes.
By double, you beat her. She looks in your eyes. She fears a kindred. She sees a priest. She tells you that she was betrothed to a wicked man. She suffocated in his sleep. And as she ran, she became the ghoul of a very simple gangrel living in the countryside who went missing. She tells you, we were looking for him. We were starved. Blood. His essence in us was running out. You don't understand.
Yes.
We had to find him. And instead we found these horrors.
Yes. Yes, it's very unfortunate indeed. What do you think, the lot of you? A proper penance. Maybe she can pay her dues, so to speak, and show us where all of this happened. We're all here for a reason, right?
I believe that does sound quite apt. I'd agree. That would be a good idea.
Yes.
It'd be helpful.
I think it's very cute that you're bartering with a ghoul. If we want to play this game, sure. Let's offer it a coin, maybe a mansion.
We are all God's
Heritage.
children.
I couldn't said it better myself, sister. Yes, we are.
I think I'm adopted.
That may also be true, G.
That is speaking poorly of those who are adopted.
You don't like me. You think I am detestable. Are you ashamed of me?
Yes.
Now, sister. Aren't we all orphans, so to speak, in the eyes of God? Forsaken, each one of us?
Someone once
Indeed.
said I had a
but-
vampire daddy, so I don't know if I'm a complete orphan.
Fine.
Like the word vampire daddy. I might take that. Violet.
Could adopt it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
We're not going to let her out of her cage, Gamaliel. I'm sorry, dear. We're not going to let you out of your cage.
She's silent.
And I could make some modifications, and sure, she can come out of her cage. And then afterwards, I would like to take her into my service.
Only if she pays her proper repentance.
Of course, carriages and the like.
There's a spot that I've read that the demons leave. The servants of it leave a dark stain. It's around the trees and on the ground. It's salty and sweet. The birds won't even shit there. Cage
There we must
girl.
go.
The cage girl will show us.
To be clear, this place which might strike a little bit of danger, what sort of compensation will we have for performing such a difficult task?
But by whom?
By the prince. This is his domain, right?
Yes.
If
Well,
we're gonna go out and protect it, I think we should be compensated.
that is a matter between you and the prince. I am I'm offering my services pro bono.
Oh, Abbot.
It's a Latin word. I'm an abbot. I know Latin.
I know. It just hurts me to hear you say that. You're worth so much more. You shouldn't be giving yourself away for free, especially since you might die.
Yes, well, as you said, nobody rides for free.
At that, my dear Kindred, we should take a quick intermission before we continue our night.
Excellent.
Excellent.
All right. Let's cue in our producer real quick, make sure that he is good to go. Welcome back to Dark Ages V5, our Gehenna Gaming ongoing campaign series every Friday at 8:30. Before we step back into it, I want to remind people, tomorrow we have The Scarlet Coffin, a V5 Western, run by some of our friends who are cast members of Atlanta by Night. And Mondays we will have Gehenna Academy, as well as the rest of our ongoing programming, with some cult stuff in the works as well, which is a very fun game we all enjoy. So we left off not moments ago with a Kindred. How would you even describe him? I'm not going to do it for you, but you know what you saw, and it was not right. You were probably left with more questions than answers. However, his fellow ghoul associate, Selena, was able to give you some information as far as where and when this all occurred. Currently, the Salon is still going on with the guests present that I mentioned earlier, who have recapped with our crew. And I will leave you with the scene.
I'm sorry.
Oh, so we have this information, but there is still a party going on. It would be rude to
Why I'm here.
it would be rude to not at least say hello. I know you've spoke to the prince already, but I'm sure there are some that may be looking for us.
Of course.
We could handle that. We have time. We have a little bit of time.
And
course.
there's
I
the
believe.
sheriff that we should speak to concerning this.
That is true.
Let's leave her here.
She'll be fine.
This creature was in the cage. Sure.
I'd like to do something, though. Madam, what is your
Yes.
name?
Selena.
I'd like to give you something, Selena, to calm you down. It's going to be okay. You're in the arms of the Lord. Shadow of the Almighty will bask you in his glory. And with that, he's going to take a little bite out of his wrist and offer it to her.
She grabs you immediately as if she was starving
Mm-hmm.
and takes 1 point of hunger from you as you increase your hunger for the night.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, thank you, madam. Stay here. We'll be right back.
She doesn't look completely thrilled with that piece of news.
Well,
Shall we arm in arm head into the salon?
Abbot will put his arm out.
Ah, yes. Let's do this.
Violet has her arm around her lady. She's the arm's kind of like this a little bit. Violet's like 5'2". She's like 6'1".
This impressively tall woman with long, flowing blonde hair in a white dress wraps her arm, which is powerful.
Oh, yeah.
This
I
is
built
a
them right.
strong woman, but you feel quite safe walking into a grotto full of monsters, be it political or benign. The rest of you following
God is
suit?
arm in arm with God.
Well, sister, you sometimes carry a little bit more.
Maybe.
Asta, are you following in as well?
I do. I will take up the rear and take my time.
You enter as the Queen Escarlamande, some nickname her the Black, is giving a brief toast. And as everyone falls silent, you catch a beat of it. She's essentially trash-talking one of the other princes, named Etienne, a Toreador, like Regis. Escarlamande is a Ventru. I want you all to know that I'm being blacklisted. Etienne, the little weasel prince, says I'm in cahoots, sabotaging ourselves, working with the Lasombra, our friends, honestly, in Iberia. And, you know, I'm from the front lines there. I was embraced during the wars with the Ashira, a fledgling from nothing. Now I'm a queen of Toulouse. And I tell you, it's a setup. This is the last salon I'll be at. It's the last time you'll probably see me. King Alexander himself has summoned me to Paris. I'm not going. I'll take my chances in Iberia. Before I go, I want to make everyone here aware that Mithras owns Aquitaine. He owns Bordeaux. The baronies of Avalon are continuing to encroach on our beloved France. And now this puppet, Etienne, blacklisting me. I'll be leaving Toulouse. More of southern France is going to fall right into the hands of Mithras. But it's not my problem anymore. So while you squabble with the courts of love and the Grand Court, as France is divided, you fall prey to our enemy in England. Adieu. She just drops a wine glass and walks out of the salon.
Well done, Queen. I enjoyed it.
Yes.
She actually slaps your ass on the way out. Chamomile.
You know, there is still a spot on my later tonight if you need a place to stay for the week before you go on your travels.
After that, I'm going to Iberia as fast as I can. Meet you there.
I'll see you there. Oh, God. Abbott, she is fantastic.
You do have a way of making friends.
I do. I make lots of friends. So I don't know why you and I never worked out in any real sense.
Sacrifice.
You've made me a cliche. My lover taken away from me by God. And here I am left alone with all my little toys and no one to please.
You know about my brothers, right?
I try not to.
They've ripped their tongues out as a sacrifice to the Almighty. I don't care that much about my tongue.
Well, you should.
My sacrifice was you, G.
Mm.
It is the saddest and hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life, but it's not mine. It's not my life.
I hope it was worth it.
It will be.
But in my hearts of hearts, I hope you look back a century later and know that you made the biggest mistake of your life.
When I'm dangling my feet on the edge of oblivion, I hope to see you on the other side.
I'll be there rubbing your feet. Isn't that what they do?
My Magdalene. Yes.
Well, there I am. Then that's where I'll be. Look forward to it. So shall we encroach upon the sheriff's time, let them know about this particular entity which seeks to cause some ruffles within our hairs?
Lead the way.
Violet,
Yes.
dearest, gorgeous, beautiful Violet. Can you speak to the sheriff, please?
I can do my best, sister. Anything you need me to particularly say? Or
No.
what information would you like? I know I am much better with words than you.
I think, and dearest Violet, there is none on this green earth who weaves words as well as I do. But I would like to see how you've grown, and I would like to watch you. So please, speak to the sheriff in the manner by which you will.
I can do that.
Excellent. I'll be right here watching and listening.
Sister Hildegard,
Yeah.
you're approached by a Nosferatu who you know as Samuel.
Ah.
The one that everyone knows that's a bullshit name.
Ah. Hello, Samuel.
Good evening.
How are you this evening?
I'm pretty good, Louisa. How are you?
Doing quite well. I haven't heard that name in some time.
It's on the lips of some.
How can I help you?
Well, I'm here to speak to the child of Brother Garnall.
Here I am.
You seek some unorthodox secrets, sister.
It's all in the name of the answer to death, of course.
There are a few things to consider in your search that I could inform you of for an exchange.
Ah. And what exchange would that be?
Your sister. You leave her tonight at the docks, attached to the pier. Something is supposed to happen, and I think she would be the only survivable witness. We both know what I'm talking about here.
I don't know that Brigitte would make house calls.
Suit yourself.
But
Many a thing could be learned if you did.
on the off chance that we agree to go, where exactly and what time should I be expected?
I know something's going to happen. I don't know when, but I'm not going to be here all night. I would deposit her, I don't know, around midnight would be a safe bet. I'm skipping town after that. When you get the results, you can send them to me in Genoa.
So you want to be joining us then,
No.
Samuel?
He hands you a piece of paper with a name.
I take it and look upon it
It
with mine
says
eyes.
Dondini.
Done what?
Dondini. D-O-double-N. Yeah. Actually, D-O-N-D-I-N-N-I.
Dundee.
If you send this to my friend in Genoa, he'll send it to me.
Aha. Well,
You do this, and we will find a host for her. I guarantee you of that.
I sort of slip back into my brain. sort of ask her what she thinks of this whole situation.
We have to take this chance. This could be it. We've not found any other way. How many bodies, Louisa, how many bodies have we chopped up, desecrated, removed? I've gone in every one of them. The decay, it's unsustainable.
All right, Samuel. I will see what I can do.
Oh, bless your heart.
And may God go with you, of course.
And you.
Oh, he's always right here.
And he walks off.
All right.
That was something.
Yeah, was that an aside or was that in front of everybody?
It was an aside. However, those with ears to hear may roll to see how much of that they caught.
What would that be?
Oh, if you have aspects,
Mhm.
heightened senses,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be too difficult. Otherwise it'd
Impossible
be
for the abbot.
fairly high difficulty with
Oh, I have Sense
Just
unseen.
hold some
Never
rings.
mind, I do not have that.
no.
I'm going to look around the room. Is there anyone there that seems faithful?
Yes, there's a Father Sebastian, a very robust and rotund, deep-voiced Tzimisce with a big red bushy beard, soaked in blood and mead.
Gamaliel, I believe we found a cousin of yours.
Of sorts, but he doesn't carry himself with the air of a dragon. It's quite unfortunate.
Yes, but he does carry himself with the air of a man of the cloth, and all the
you
same.
want cloth, yes.
Well,
Stretched out sheets torn asunder by nightly activities.
Did I hear you say man of the cloth? Oh, man. He stands about 6'4" above you, Abbot.
Good brethren, kinsmen, how do you do?
Abbot Aldrich.
He takes your red stole, pulls it off of your habit, and wipes his honey and blood-soaked beard with it. That's what I think of your cloth, little man.
And what of yours?
What of mine?
Your cloth. These are just symbols. What of your symbols?
I like it when I don't get a rise out of people.
You like
Yes,
it when you don't get a rise?
Yes, it means you've actually got some spine, some stones, boy. And cousin,
Hello.
what are you doing here with such, well, low blood company?
Excuse me, sir. I am a Lasombra.
I wasn't talking about you.
The others. No, it's a
The
fair
backstabbing, traitorous usurpers.
The company by which I keep.
Love thy enemy as you would love yourself. Gamaliel.
Shut the fuck up.
While I agree with you wholeheartedly, kinsman, upon the outlook on these other clans, I would ask that you treat my particular friend, my ally, Abbot Aldrich, with respect. You're making me quite angry.
Now you're quiet.
Fair.
In fact, I do believe you owe this person, dear Abbot, another cloth, or at least you should have one of your ghouls clean it before he leaves the salon.
He grabs one of the monks walking by that Regis has designed for sustenance. Just picks him up by the back of the hood, bites into him, feeds from him, rips part of his robes, shoulder to bottom, throws it at Abbot Aldrich. The stole of a martyr for the pious man.
Well, there you have it. Respect. Abbot, do you feel respected?
I do now.
Excellent.
Thank you, G.
Now, dear kinsman, your very presence fills me with such shame that I might vomit at any point in time. Carry yourself with the stature of a dragon, my dear kinsman. You're embarrassing yourself. This is the salon.
Is it your salon?
It is the prince's salon. And every eye is watching.
More eyes than you know.
Let them gaze. They have much to see.
And you, still with the hedonism, brother? Is that truly the path of knowledge by which you seek the secrets of the flesh?
There is no greater truth than that which can be obtained through sex and suffering.
There's a cathedral that moves on the legs of the victims of the voivodes that might disagree with you.
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of people out here who would disagree with me, but this life is my own.
And I leave you to it.
Thank you. Please.
He
5
walks
feet.
up to you and gives you the most respectful sign one Tzimisce can give to the other by leaning in and giving you the kiss as you bite each other, instantly proving to each other that you are Tzimisce. Because in the wars and the enemies that they have fought, so many imposters may wish to seek to divvy into their ranks. But the kiss, the bite of a Tzimisce, a sign of great respect. You know instantly that you are of the same lineage, the same blood, that you are brethren. And he is acknowledging you as such, even though he doesn't disagree. He doesn't agree with your ideals. He bites you.
Mm-hmm.
He pats you on the shoulder, and he leaves the salon.
Farewell, dear kinsman.
I'm going to find that man, G.
You're going to find him, and then what? Abbot.
I'm going to show him his fears.
Caution, dear Abbot, while you will forever be my shining knight, gallantly set upon that white horse, your shirt ripped, torn asunder, and your glistening chest below the sunlight. That is a very dangerous path.
It's just darkness, G. It exists in all of us, and I'm going to turn his inside out.
I enjoy your words. They are doing things to me, and I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Violet, before you can find the sheriff, a woman with ashen white hair, with a purple dress, with a spiderweb pattern of interwoven gold, approaches you. You've heard of her. They say she's a witch, You're not sure if she's Tremere or something else. But she brings you a cup of blood, even though she herself is not drinking one.
I take the glass from her, being polite.
Your protector eyes it suspiciously and almost wishes to just checking it out, making sure.
I raise it to her. I could see from the corner of my eye that she's like, "You're taking a random glass?"
Yeah, she tastes it. She gives you the nod, hands it back to you. Violet,
Yes.
correct?
Yes, that is.
My name is Veronica.
Nice to meet you. I like
And
names
I-
with B's.
And I you. I am told you're of Clan Tremere.
Indeed.
How did you come into this life to know the magics? I've heard numerous stories that some of the Tremere are awakened before being brought into this life, and others who are like everyone else. Did you have a magical experience before becoming what you are? Or do they simply pluck you like a flower in the field?
Well, I've always been into the magical arts even before I was turned. Me and a special friend of mine, we studied and did quite a bit of mortal magic, more on the white side, dabbling sometimes in the black. My sire approached me, and then I had to make a sacrifice. And it was more knowledge to learn about magic and leave my life behind, or stay mortal. And I did not choose to stay mortal.
But if you had the power as a mortal, you wouldn't have needed this. Did you not have an awakened soul to perform these magics before entering House Tremere? So many were actual wizards before the embrace. So I wonder, why did they choose you?
I wish I knew that secret myself, but my sire would tell me to be quiet anytime I asked. So if you want to know more about me, pick his brain, because I have tried and been told to go out in the world instead.
Let's find out.
Oh, I would love that.
Her hand produces a silver spider, shining metallic. And she crushes it briefly, and then opens her mouth and looks towards the ceiling. The same spider begins descending on a golden thread. From about 15 feet up, right into her mouth, as if someone at a party was doing a trick with a grape. And as she swallows it, she tells you, your family was important to them. They originated from Kiev, and they didn't tell you as such. You have ancient blood in you, Violet de Claret.
Ah, you know the full name. That makes sense.
I do
for
now.
My history.
Thanks to my friends, they tell me secrets.
Secrets do have a way of getting out. That is news to me, and I wish I knew that earlier. I may be writing a letter to someone very shortly.
Or you could join them.
Oh,
Yeah. Why stay?
well, I would like to in the future, but currently there are matters at hand.
Mm. Well, don't stay too long. I think this domain only has enough room for one. Just gifted with the magic.
Well, I would love to know the information, and I would love to pick a brain or two.
Good luck finding one. And she snottily turns and walks away.
I look up at my pet Fleur.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know, but I would like some more answers.
Mm.
I don't know if I trust it completely, but that spider trick was something else and kind of disgusting.
That was gross.
It really was. Like I have
There you go.
to do things with spiders, but that is a level I do not feel comfortable with. Let's go look for that sheriff before we get any more distractions of women telling me about who I am.
As long as I could body slam them, anything but spiders.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We have to do what we have to do, apparently.
You make your way towards the sheriff. There's a number of other kindred here, if anyone would like to speak to them before it's getting late.
No, I'll head to the sheriff.
You see Violet head to the sheriff. Is anyone joining her?
I would.
I'm also interested in this conversation.
It seems you're in a consensus. A lot of you follow. The sheriff is a woman about 5'8", thin, fairly Middle Eastern garb. She herself is not Middle Eastern. She looks like she grew up around Abbot's neck of the woods. She even has kind of a Dublin accent. Oh boy, when so many approach me at once, I can only imagine what Father Sebastian did.
Yes, he does have a way with him, doesn't he?
Until one day he won't, and I look forward to that day. Is this that day? Please make my night.
No, but when that day does come, excuse me, Abbot Aldrich.
Min Neferet.
Min, when that day comes, find me. And I'm yours for that day.
Is that all it takes?
Sometimes.
You know, many others would. I mean, we could sell tickets. This would be fantastic.
Yes, we
See
could.
the smiles in the crowd here.
I'm enticed.
Anyway, I believe there's some information you might like to hear, for better or for worse.
They say not all information is good, but it's my job, so lay it on me.
Well, we saw something that was rather wretched, honestly. There was a man who had marks on him, and they did not look any part good, mildly satanic, I would say. Flies left his body, and they trailed off. And honestly, there was an attack in the woods. We also heard from someone who brought him to our attention. And something about a child was also involved that gave the man these flies that were in his body.
Is this testimony shared by all of you.
If there's any information I have left out, please inform the wonderful sheriff before us.
Feels accurate.
The feeling. Haven't you all felt it? Asta, sister, sheriff, haven't you felt it in the city for hours now, even before this happened? Gosh, ever since I've stepped into the city, I felt a presence and odd situations and odd happenings ever since I've come into your city, and I worry that perhaps the entire city may be cursed.
I felt no such thing.
Hmm.
Have any of you?
No, I haven't.
Not I.
Oh, you haven't? You haven't felt the stirring in you?
9.
There's always a stirring in us.
Yes, there is. Isn't there?
Violet, do tell.
You would love to know, but you cannot find out yet.
Everything
any-
you've described sounds like you witnessed a Bali. Clan of Infernalists.
Yeah, there was nothing slightly satanic about this. It was quite obvious.
You mentioned a small boy.
Yeah, it's small child, yes.
What was their presence with all this? What did they relay to you?
Small boy was not there, but a friend of the awful poor soul told us and relayed the information as they were at the woods with them, but they were not touched. But as soon as the touch happened, the flies almost transmuted to him.
That boy is the source of this affliction. He is a very old presence. Possibly not even Molly. He might be some kind of demon himself.
Mm.
I spent a lot of time with the Ashira, the Banu Hakim, and they've told me about their wars against these people who bear no lineage to the clans of Cain. There's something older and worse.
Mm.
It's the flies, Sheriff. I have studied this kind of thing. Beelzebub's influence over the bugs that crawl and sting and bite. It's the flies that make up the bodies of such demons that, well, I've read others have seen. Shameful and disgusting.
If they given you any indication as to where this boy was or where this man went, I'm going to need to know.
That is information that we could gather for you. With the Salon happening and Father Sebastian, or whatever he calls himself, causing a muck. I would not want this awful thing to distract you from what you're focusing on currently, and I guess I can speak for all of us when I say that we would be more than interested in helping to find that place and perhaps reporting back.
For payment, of course.
Of course.
Of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a goddamn job. Oh, fuck, I hope Regis didn't hear that. Yes. As you're talking to the sheriff, Sister Hildegard has wandered off. Sister, where are you going?
I'm going to the dock.
What are you doing?
The instructions that I was given by by Samuel were to report on what I see.
To leave your sister,
Yes. And then
retrieve her the following night.
gotcha. Then I will go and do just that. See what Brigitte can find or do or
This isn't the first time we've been apart, Louisa. I'll be okay.
yeah, I wish I knew more.
Tomorrow we'll know more. Maybe we'll get the answers. Maybe they'll finally recognize you when we accomplish everything we've talked about.
I hope so. My worst fear is that we will have to ask Gamaliel for help. So we must do this.
This is the better alternative.
Absolutely.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Love, dear sister.
And she leaves your body.
And I feel empty.
You do. It's just you and the beast. As if the presence of God has left your body. The familiar presence of someone you grew up with and loved, whose life was cut short. It's like a child without a security blanket. And she waits by the pier, a haunting echo.
As I walk back, having left her, I'm just going to keep repeating the Lord's Prayer.
And she does the same at the pier alone. And that is probably where we will end our session for tonight. Thank you everyone for playing, you wonderful people, and naughty Kindred, all the same. Thank you for everyone who tuned in to watch, whether video on demand or live. We'll be back next week at 8:30 without Twitch issues. Thank you for being patient with us. We hope you enjoyed all of this. My lovely cast, please tell me where they can find each and every one of you people. I will pick who goes first if you don't know me. Let's start with Mark. Break the ice, Mark.
Yeah.
Break it up, Mike.
Well, my name is Mark Hugh Anderson. I've played Abbot Aldrich. You can find me on Twitter at Marchosius with 5s instead of S's. But more importantly, I want you to follow Gehenna Gaming. Check out some of the other actual plays that we have going on and see all the cool stuff that we have coming over the next few weeks. Really, really excited about this series. Very excited about Gehenna Academy. Today, this is a V5 weekend. Tomorrow we have the Legend of the Scarlet Coffin Part 1, a Western V5 story told by a great group of people, and I'm super, super excited about that. So
it's a train heist.
It's a freaking train heist. And listen, we do cool stuff here, and it really warms my heart that so many people tuned in. So keep tuning in and keep following the stuff that we do, because we do it because everyone enjoys doing this. And thank you.
Indeed. Gamaliel, where can they find you, you hedonistic creep?
Hey, I am Mitchell, also known as Penny Fortell on all the social medias. The biggest thing I have going on right now is my TTRPG Necrobiotic is coming out May 12th. So this Wednesday on Kickstarter, go ahead and follow it up and back the hell out of it, because it's going to blow your mind.
It's so good.
Yeah, go to the Kickstarter and just sign up to be reminded when the Kickstarter goes live.
Yes. Do it.
Because also Gehenna Gaming is going to be writing a a scenario.
And it's sexy. I've seen it.
Mhm.
It's sexy as hell.
Very excited. Dana, where can they find you, my friend?
Everybody, I'm Dana. You can find me on the internet at DanielB, pretty much everywhere. I am in a couple other streams throughout the week, and I am so happy that I got to join everybody tonight for the first time. It was so much fun.
We're very happy to have you. And you do a lot of great cosplay in all of the streams you do,
Thank you.
whether it's Star Trek or Chicago. So we're very happy to have you with us.
Do my best.
Elliot.
Hi, I'm Elliot. You could find me on twitch.tv/chaosofm. I stream typically around 7 o'clock during the weekdays, sometimes around 1-ish on weekends when I have time. I'm also Chaos Them on Twitter if you want to know when I go live. And of course, I am Chaos Elliot when you want to hear me rage about things, vampires, and memes. And you can also see me on the Midnight World with Casey on Thursdays at 8 o'clock.
8 p.m.
It has
Eastern
been
time.
Eastern time. Thank you. We had our session one yesterday and it was so freaking cool. So please check that out as well if you can. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, the flies coming out of the guy's mouth. I was like, oh my god, that's my trauma trigger in Midnight World.
what game am I in? Casey, where can they find you, my friend?
I am literally everywhere as Calamity Casey. As Elliot mentioned, I will be playing Midnight World with Gehenna Gaming on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm also the co-host of a lovely little podcast called Strange and Unusual, where if you like dark history, true crime, and me talking about a lot of corpses, you should come check us out.
Yeah. Have you guys done an episode on Rasputin yet?
I did one about his dick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah, I did one
'Cause it went on
about how
tour.
nobody
Amazing.
knows what happened to his penis. So yes, that is an episode.
Yeah.
I think Roya talked about the Dyatlov Pass, and I spoke about the Great Cock Caper.
Was it really a cock? Was it really a cock? Like I heard it was a horse's cock.
It is. The one that's on display is like a bull's
duck?
penis or something. Yeah. But yeah, I talked a little bit about his assassination and then the preceding. What happened to his dick?
Cock talk.
Yeah,
Let's face it, no one can resist tuning into the show now because
Yeah,
we
right?
need all the context of this bizarre
Yeah, I
man
need to
and
know.
his life. So
That's all you need.
And a total bop came out of his killing. We all know the Rasputin song.
Rah rah Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen.
Yep.
The latest one we did was great because it was like Roy covered this horrible, awful, terrible, the worst serial killer, and then I was like, and now I'm going to tell you about a mummy that might cure rheumatoid arthritis. So yeah, it's a lot of different crazy things. If you like dark, spooky stuff, we're the place to be.
it's good content.
Mhm.
And you're playing the perfect character to do both of these shows,
Ah.
right?
Danka, yeah.
And Cappadocian. I'm Rick. You can find me anywhere Gehenna Gaming is and at Oops All Setite. I am super excited to continue this story with these wonderful people. And we will see you next week. Thank you for tuning in, everybody.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.